Hey everybody, and welcome to our lesson about factoring. Now before we get started, it's important to understand why we factor. One reason, to help us solve equations. Another, to find zeros of quadratics. We can also find roots of polynomials, and it's fun. So let's start talking about it. Alright, when I factor, it's a process of breaking down something into its two factors. So for example, 24 can be broken down into two factors, 6 times 4. Now 6 times 4 will give us 24. Now we can expand this to include some polynomials. So let's consider x squared plus 7x plus 12. This polynomial is actually the product of two binomials. So let's see if we can't figure this out kind of by reverse foiling here. So we know to get x in the front, I had to do x times x, try to get x squared here, x times x. Now, consider that when we FOIL, we multiply these last two together to get my constant. So I've got to figure out something that multiplies to be 12, okay? And then remember, when I combine my like terms, I add to get the middle term. So I've got to figure out two factors of 12 that add up to be 7. And you could start listing your factors of 12. 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Boom! 3 and 4 add up to be 7. So I can say x plus 3 times x plus 4 would equal x squared plus 7x plus 12. Now let's try it. Okay, how are we going to know if we're right? We can check our answer by foiling. So I'm going to do x times x, and I get x squared. I'm going to do x times 4, and I get 4x. 3 times x gives me 3x. And then lastly, I get 12. By combining my like terms here in the middle, I get x squared plus 7x plus 12. Boom. All right, let's look at a few more examples. If you turn to page 3 in your factoring packet, that's where you'll find these questions. They're numbered just like they are in your packet. So let's look at problem number 1. I need to find two factors of 6 that add up to be 5. Two factors of 6 that add up to be 5. I can list my factors if you want to. We got 1 and 6. We got 2 and 3. Boom, there they are. Okay, and again, we can FOIL to check our answer. How about this one? Factors of 4 that add up to be 5. So my factors of 4 would be 1 and 4. Oh, don't need to go any further. 1 plus 4 equals 5. So 1, 4. All right, keep moving here. Factors of 20 that add up to be 9. So my factors of 20 are 1 and 20. 2 and 10, not quite there yet. 4 and 5, there we go. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 plus 5 is 9. Go ahead and pause the video and you take a turn factoring problems 4 through 6. Alright, it's time to check your answers here. Always going to fill in x up front because I want to get x squared, so x times x will give me x squared. Now I'm looking for what two factors of 21 will add up to be 10. Looks like 7 and 3 will work. And this next one, we're looking for factors of 30 that add up to be 11. That would be 6 and 5. Okay, last one here. Factors of 16 that add up to be 10. That would be 8 and 2. All right, hopefully you're starting to feel comfortable when we have all plus signs, because we're going to change it up just a little bit now. When I throw in the negative sign in the middle, I've got to be a lot more careful about my signs. All right, so the same idea applies. I'm looking for factors of the constant that add up to be the middle term. But now, if you look here, I have a positive constant and a negative middle term. So I'm looking for numbers that multiply to be positive and add up to be negative, that tells me that both signs need to be negative. Again, they multiply to be a positive number, add up to be a negative number. They both must be negative. So I'm looking for factors of 12 that add up to be negative 8. That would be 6 and 2. Again, we can check. Negative 6 times negative 2 is positive 12. Negative 6 plus negative 2 is negative 8. Okay, let's look at another. I'm looking for factors of 15 that add up to be negative 8. That would be negative 5 and negative 3. Multiply to be positive, add up to be negative. We're good here. And then factors of 16 that add up to be negative 17. Let's go with negative 16 and negative 1. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and you try the next few. All right, looking down here. My factors of 40 that add up to be 6. Now we've got to be careful here. They're going to multiply to be a negative number. So that means one needs to be positive, one needs to be negative. Okay? You are going to put the sign of the larger number with the positive sign. So it would be 10 and 4. Here's how I always check it. We can just do 10 times negative 4 and I get negative 40. Then I can do 10 plus negative 4 and I get 6. Boom, it checks out. All right, nothing wrong with doing that each time. All right, down here, they have to multiply to be negative 3. Now 3 is a prime number, so it's only got its factors as 1 in itself. So I just have to decide what goes positive, what goes negative. I want it to be a positive 2, so I want the bigger number to go with the positive sign. Let's check it. 3 times negative 1 equals negative 3. That works. Now 3 plus negative 1 equals 2. Boom, that works. Okay, last one here. Factors of negative 32 that add up to be 4. Start listing your factors of 32. We got 1 and 32. We got 2 and 16. We've got 4 and 8. Boom, there we go. Now it's time to decide what's positive and what's negative. We want a positive 4 here, so we're going to go 8 minus 4, and that'll be our final answer. All right, that's it for today. Hope you learned a little bit about factoring. In the videos to come, we'll talk about factoring coefficients that are not 1 and factoring some special cases.